Resorption is basically the process of your tooth digesting itself. Cool. Wait, that's happening to me? Well, this sucks. Hi, I'm IAMAJB. About 15 years ago, in 2005, I was nearly killed by a drunk driver. Unfortunately, the month-long coma I was in made the details of the whole thing a little bit hard to recall, but basically, I know I got brain damage, deep muscle tissue damage, causes pretty intense pain in my jaw and shoulder and some other places, lacerations all over, my mouth was split wide open, my jaw was broken, and I lost a tooth. Here's one, right here. Yeah, that's the one. That was the immediate damage. So while I was still dealing with the insurance company, trying to get them to pay for, my recovery, which is, they hate paying for things, and that's literally their entire deal. Anyway, the point is the onus was on me to keep track of records and receipts and make sure I'm going to these things that they set up, and I got to send the receipts to them or to my lawyer, and that's the only way I can get reimbursed for all of the appointments that I had to go to. And let me tell you, they sent me to appointment after appointment with psychologists and psychiatrists and specialists and doctors and scans, and just nonstop, constantly. It was exhausting. And finally, after 10 long years, I was done. I mean, what I mean to say is I dealt with the insurance company for about 10 years. And then they were like, yeah, we're done paying for stuff. So here's a lump sum of cash. It should pay for the rest of your medical expenses caused by this for the rest of your life. Here you go. Bye-bye. Good luck. Hope it covers everything. Spoiler alert, it didn't. Anyway, for the past 5 years, I really thought I was done thinking about that, the whole ordeal. Fast forward to the end of November 2020. I find out that my canine, this one right here on the side of my tooth, this side of my face took a lot of the impact in the accident in 2005. Right here is where I lost the tooth 15 years ago. And this canine tooth, I found out, has a big gaping hole in it. Now, when I say in it, I mean literally on the inside of my otherwise perfectly healthy tooth. Otherwise being a strong word here. See, the hole wasn't caused by plaque or gingivitis or whatever gives you cavities normally. It was this thing I told you about called resorption, and we'll get to that. But for now, I'll tell you about this dentist. See, he didn't catch the hole, and he's like, we're just going to take a full x-ray so that we can check for any abnormalities in your mouth. And even though he did do the full dental x-ray, I guess he didn't actually look at the x-ray very well. He probably just glanced at it and tossed it aside, and he was like, yeah, your teeth are fine. It was really obvious on the x-ray, but I don't know, he didn't see it. So he actually only caught the hole a year later when the hole got so big that it actually breached the outer layer of my tooth. Now there's like this empty space all up in there. I can really just I can poke a fingernail in it. It's right, because it's so big and so. Anyway, it was discovered, this hole, after some food poked my gums, and the gums having been, weakened underneath from the lack of tooth. The food went into the hole, and it caused such a bad infection that it caused my gums to swell up to like the size of a small gumball, which, I mean, let me tell you, for gums is pretty big. It was painful. Anyway, that dentist wasn't really sure at the time what caused the hole, so I got a second opinion, and it was the family dentist I used to go to. He's a really good dentist. The only reason I stopped going to him is because I moved, and his place is just a little bit further from where I live now. Anyway, he told me what's causing my toothy catastrophe. Catastrophe? Anyway, he told me it's called resorption. So the way he explained it was that resorption is basically when you get some dental trauma, like, say, being hit by a drunk driver and getting a tooth knocked out and your jaw broken. Anyway, the dental trauma, that agitation can eventually cause them to just start digesting your tooth. And I mean, it sounds kind of cool when you say it, but it really sucks when it's happening to you, let me tell you. So now there's this hole where my tooth used to be, and what's left of the tooth is in serious danger of snapping off should I bite into anything too hard or chewy. In this case, like a marshmallow. I mean, look at this thing. It's basically is there even anything left in there? Jeez. Anyway, at least this good dentist that I saw, he told me, we'll just take x-rays every year and a half, just to check them out, because this is something you can't see unless you take an x-ray. But if you catch it early enough, you can actually save the tooth before it gets too bad. I actually wonder if this tooth could have been saved if that other dentist that I saw first had actually noticed the hole about a year ago when it was way smaller. The x-ray he took specifically to check for problems in my teeth, but then ended up just glancing at it and missing and completely and just tossing it aside. And so anyway, I had to go see a specialist about it, and he confirmed my fears. I have to get this tooth completely removed and replaced with yet another implant. Only this time, my insurance company isn't going to pay for anything. And even though, according to two dentists and the specialist, what caused the resorption is definitely the motor vehicle accident from 15 years ago, because it's really the only dental trauma I've ever had. And that's literally the only thing that causes resorption. Braces can, but I've never had braces. Why did this have to be dormant for 14 years? Like, before it even showed up on a scan. I mean, getting a tooth removed is like $5,000, and it's not covered by regular medical services plan. And because it's been so long, the insurance is finished, so I can't get them to pay for it. Oh wait, let me just... No, actually, you know what? Getting a tooth removed and replaced is actually... It was $5,000 15 years ago. Now it's actually going to cost me upwards of, $11,000. Oh, but I do have a student dental plan. I should probably check to see how much that... Oh, great. It'll cover $544. Fantastic. Honestly, I was devastated at first. Like, the initial impact already caused so much damage to me. I'm going to be in severe pain in a lot of parts of my body for probably the rest of my life. I mean, I've got a permanent bruise on my brain that who knows how that's going to affect me in a few years when I start getting a little bit older, and now I've got to be toothless again for 10 to 12 months. And I've got to pay for it. And then I started getting kind of used to the idea. I'm like, okay, this sucks, but I have to go through this crap again, but it's okay. I can deal with it. But then the day I saw the specialist in person about the surgery and where he explained everything and the costs and all that, he explained a very lengthy, painful procedure. And it brought up some pretty bad memories of, when I was still recovering from the initial incident, and I had to go through this long process, and just, it was tough. And while I was walking home, I was having a bit of a meltdown. So I called my dad, because I had to talk to someone. And as soon as he answered the phone, I broke down and I started crying. I couldn't stop myself. That was about a month ago, and then just a couple days ago, it happened. I did it again. I broke down and cried. I was just in the kitchen, cooking up some refried beans. I was just there in the kitchen, thinking about my oral surgery, which is actually today at 1. So, yay. And I was thinking about it, and honestly, I got really emotional, and I broke down crying in the kitchen. I couldn't stop. And I don't think it was just the tooth and the surgery that did it. Like, it was probably a lot of everything. I mean, I've got terrible PTSD. I've got all these horrible memories. I've got all this stress happening, the surgery happening. It's financially stressful. It's stressful in that I'm losing. Like, I thought I was done with all this crap, but it's happening again. And it's making me think about all these terrible things that happened to me before in this whole situation. And it was just... It's unfair, and sometimes I worry that I'm just never going to be able to leave it behind me. you know? And, I mean, that's probably right. The damage that drunk driver did to me was permanent, It's going to affect me for the rest of my life. The trauma, on top of the physical stuff, is going to be forever. Anyway, I wanted to get some sort of, like, message or lesson or something into this, and I was, like, trying to figure out what I could say at the end. But honestly, it just sucks. Like, I just wanted to rant about it, so there you go. No lesson or anything, it just... But, I mean, if you've ever had, or are experienced maybe something similar, just something that's just crappy and unfair, and you just want to tell me about it, like... tell me in the comments, or post your own video, send me a message on, like Twitter or Instagram or whatever. Just get it off your chest if you feel like it, and, we can just talk to each other or whatever. Anyone, or talk to anyone you want. Honestly, though, there is a good chance hardly anyone's going to see this video, and out of those people, almost no one is actually going to watch this far into the video. But, so, if you have, though, thank you for sticking around and listening. I really appreciate it. Anyway, I've got a surgery to prepare for, so we'll see you next time, I guess. I mean, if I'm losing a tooth anyway, I might as well just have some, like, delicious, sugary, carbonated beverage, but... Crap. I'm not supposed to have caffeine before my surgery. I forgot. I've gone like a week without it. Please don't tell my dentist.